So out of the pan and into the fire as we finally get into this match as we see Terry versus Falco being locked in here. And I don't know about you, Travesty, but I'm a big Terry fan.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Terry fan as well. I was a Terry fan outside of Smash, you know?
Yeah, okay,
yeah, you know, I gotta, where's my my flannel at? Hold on, I gotta get that on.
Where's the
I need my hipster drip real quick here, but okay, Falco. We literally jump in here only to see the most brutal parts of what was to come here. They went straight into the match. They wanted some action. Falco immediately getting that action. Terry getting put into a little bit of a funk there.
He got put into the dirt here, but it is, what was it? 1-to-1 stock, so this Falco is only going to have one stock left. But
yeah.
As we saw from the previous game, one stock may be all you need, right? It is all you need here as we are going to get fired into the next matchup very, very soon. We didn't get to really see a lot of the Terry Falco stuff, but I assume Terry was doing the typical Terry stuff that we've known, at least me and you, from the SNK days.
Yeah.
Right? The screaming fist, the combos, the juggles, right? I'm assuming that's what happened to this Falco, but eventually he was just able to take control of that space, that vertical space specifically. Falco's super, super good on. We see him just throwing out these raw neutral airs and these raw forward airs. The lasting hitboxes on those guys, I can't tell you enough how insane that is. To just be able to control so much of that space falling down, and it's not really punishable.
Yeah, it's just difficult to be able to deal with in most cases. And, you know, you brought up the fact that one stock diff doesn't really, it might not play a factor now that we've witnessed the demolition that could have been outside of our previous series. I will say, Falco has less tools to work with that. So we're going to have to see a little bit more creativity, I feel like, in how Falco approaches this next match if they do want to knock an entire character out. Because that, like we were talking about, the snowball turned into avalanche. That's the goal that you want to do once you get these leads. It is hard to do when you have one stock. It takes an exceptional player, and it also takes for your character to have the right tools for the job. Falco can do it, but Falco has to get up in your face to start driving those percentage numbers down, which bears its own risk.
Yeah, like you said, much riskier, less safe than like we saw the Palantino, right? Where they can kind of switch up play styles, right? They can play that like up in your face. I'm going to down throw you. I'm going to up air you. I'm going to combo you. And oh, you're off the ledge. All right, get back on the ledge. I'll just take all of this space. I'm going to use my side specials. I'm going to use my neutral B, right? And just control the space. And we are going into the game right now as we finally get the next matchup. The Falco into what is that, Hero?
It's hero time, baby. Here we go. We're going right back into it. Back into my RPG, you know? This is where I'm at. This is where I feel most comfortable. I am excited to be able to see it. Hero is going to be able to look for some sort of fun shenanigans to be able to go for. We are actually having a conversation about how Hero was a very hated character on release. And how it's still a hated character for sure, but still, I love being able to see. I think its playstyle is so unique. I really enjoy the idea of this character, and keep our eyes to see they're able to pop off the way they need to here.
I love the different spells you can use, right, with Hero, and what each character actually opts into. Because some people like to go the more kind of zony spell style of Hero. We see a lot of this guy picking some of the most self-buff kind of stuff, as the snooze does get reflected here. Yeah, you said Hero was hated. I think Steve was able to take that mantle.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The lightning rod that he is. That everybody's kind of forgotten about Hero in that sense. Like, oh, you know what? He's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
But now, we see this Hero kind of struggling a little bit just to get this stock out. I don't think you want to lose a stock. Right? It's really rough as we see.
Yeah,
like you said, you need character.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The reflects are coming out so clutch here. We're seeing a lot. Like you said, the buffs, the self-buffs. When he throws a projectile out, these reflects are actually coming in clutch and throwing him right back at him. So he's having a hard time actually dealing with this. If Falco's doing a good job adapting to the Hero and utilizing these reflects to make sure those spells are a non-factor here. And now looking for a little bit of some vertical game, trying to get up into the air, laying a little bit of hurt. Both of these characters are in range to be knocked out, get that KO going for themselves. That rage building up on Hero. Trying to get that slash in. That was a big whiff, and it gets punished.
Double smashes, right? Hit the forward smash, and then gets the kill. Finally able to confirm it out, but not without any damage done here is Hero. Does take Falco out, but loses a stock to himself here. And
Oh,
now I think if I remember correctly, I think the big bad Palutena does come out here, right? This is Ashland University, I'm pretty sure.
well, the big thing. Real quick, let's real quick talk about the fact that you're in a situation now with this hero. Well, whatever comes out next, right? Whatever comes out next, you are down not only your one stock, but remember that Falco gave a nice little bit of cushion because of that, right? Like that's a very big thing to take note of. This hero now, they have to go in, they have to be able to play nice. There's a scary thing if there is a Palutena in the next round because you get immediately scared after what you just saw if you witnessed that. But still, with this playstyle they're going for, you were talking about it earlier, going for more of that buff / debuff style, and then every now and then throwing out a random projectile here and there. That style does work a little bit better against a character like Palutena, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you're allowed to kind of sit there and play the spell game like you mentioned, right? Start self-buffing yourself, doing that kind of stuff. Then you're kind of allowed to mix and match and really try to find whatever spell combination works against the Palutena. But we saw what they were able to do, right? They can play that zone game. They can play that more aggressive up in your face. And this hero was kind of whiffing, right? Going for a lot of these, forward smashes, almost went for a down smash, the double whiff, right? These really telegraphed attacks can get you punished very, very quickly here. I like the idea that they were kind of just cycling through the spells, right? Like the oomph, the sleep, or the snooze in this case, and just trying to find an opening for you to whiff. And when you mess up, he's going to punish you very, very hard.
Yeah, I think the big thing to keep note of is the fact that that impatience could have been bred by those reflects too, right? So now if you're going against a character that doesn't have that reflect, maybe that changes some things, right? Maybe that impatience doesn't soak into you the way it did inside that game. Because like you were saying, there were a couple big whiffs where it's like, oh, you missed and you were wide open, you're going to get opened up. But there was other times where we saw like those moments where finally where that reflect wasn't up. That was the deciding moment to be able to get that taken care of. So let's go ahead, go into our next bit here as we can go ahead and see. We got ourselves another unique matchup here.
Ooh, I don't know when the newer characters picked up here. I mean, this is sword versus sword matchup, and this character, it's not Fire Emblem-esque. It's kind of a weird character, right? It's super fast, has a couple projectiles. It's definitely an interesting matchup, I would say.
I like this too because this is the player that was playing the Mii fighter last time, by the way. So this is the same person who was playing the Mii fighter beforehand, and they are popping in here ready to lay in some hurt of their own. They are looking to try and get into this midst of the, like you said, another newer character. It's an interesting thing. They haven't actually, I think the community was fairly fine with them. I think they were just like, oh, sword character again. But this is yet again, you have a lot of good possibilities with it. A lot of mobility actually with this character as well. You're able to kind of continuously dash around, lay in some hurt as such. And,
I think with Pyramithra, right, the issue was that like there are other characters to be mad at, right?
Yeah.
You've got Kazuya, you've got Sora, you've got Steve, all these other characters. So like you said, flew under the radar, but a nice kill coming out from Hero right now is this Mithra is just trying to space really, really well.
Yeah, doing a good job at getting in a little bit of hurt, but it's yet again, it's kind of like the idea of you want to confirm into something with this character, right? You're seeing that constantly, trying to get those swords flaming around. But Hero, unfortunate, not able to get back up to that ledge, is going to try and charge up. Nice kaboom to come out, actually. Lays in a good hurt onto them, gives them some much needed space, but yet again, the pace back in their favor. Kiri-chan over here, laying in the hurt.
Yeah, and just playing these fast-paced characters, dash dancing around. I love the idea with this Mithra, just kind of like a Sting, bee Sting style playstyle, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna get in quick, I'm gonna pop you for a couple hits, I'm gonna jump back out, I'm gonna dash back out, and when you mess up, I'm gonna punish you very, very hard with like a really big special or a really big, side smash, right, or forward smash here. And I love this kind of playstyle. She is at 100% right now, kill range for sure. With the right move, Hero can take it down, but nice up B.
Remember, Heroes on their last stop, so they have a lot of work cut out for them still. They They need to be able to finish things off. Do not get the big hit as needed there. They're going to recover very easily, but the sword coming in. There's so many ledge games that you can play here. Throwing around that flaming sword, looking for the possible KO. They'll find it in a flaming tornado. The fury comes out. Kiri-chan standing on top.
Nice, nice. I like just going to this character, right? So you know what? I'm not going to bring the Mii fighter out. Let's just fight sword for sword, sheath for sheath, and we'll figure out who finally comes out on top. And the Pyramithra, or, you know, in this case, the Pyramithra combo here. Very, very good. Very, very nice. I like that pick, right? Plays differently than most other sword characters, right? Has the ability to zone, but you saw she's able to throw the sword out like a projectile and just zone you off the ledge. Very, very disgusting. And oh, wait. She moves like a fox, by the way. Like, she moves super quickly. Very disgusting.
Yeah, she's got decent mobility. She's able to move around, especially her neutral game. I like her neutral game actually a lot inside of it, just because of, like you said, being able to not only be able to throw out that sword, but also be able to go ahead, wrap yourself up with that flames, lay in the action. Good stuff to be able to come out here. Appreciate Mana Culture breaking out. Goes for the Mii fighter one round, and then turns around and says, all right, time to go to Xenoblade Chronicles. So we need to go ahead, lay this in, show everybody what I'm about. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for doing this for me today. But here we are. We're going to be going into our next matchup. And the question does ask, right? Is a newer character. This is the king of unpredictability, I feel like, at this moment in time. Is what I'm going to deem him.
Olimar.
Yeah, Olimar. Yet again, you need to give us something, Shibby. I need you to be like... I need you to be like, I will throw eggs on my face if you
I will manifest a real Pikmin. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I want you to manifest a real Pikmin if it's picked. You got to give us something. It just has to get picked.
I would love to see it. I'd love to see it here.
Yeah, I'd love to see you throw an egg on the ground.
You want to see me? You know what I'm capable of.
I see the fridge in the background.
The fridge is behind me, Tyler. You already know what I'm capable of. There's stuff in there. I bite into it. How about this? I'll take a bite and I'll chew into a raw onion if Olimar gets picked. How about that?
Okay.
Got running into the back.
You heard it here. Hey, everybody can hear us, right? Like I just want to make sure you heard this, right? Shibby will eat a raw onion if you pick Olimar. Did we have an Olimar? No, that's Yoshi.
That's Yoshi. Interesting character. Another, I like the purple color scheme. I'm more of a fan of the bright blue one, right?
I do like the bright blue. I do like the bright blue.
Yeah, the bright blue is nice. But Mana Culture going for Barney, as right now just stomping on this pyro right. Oh my lord. The shoes, the bims are coming out, Travis.
Yeah. This is Barney with some Tims right now. Is laying in the hurt, throwing out those eggs. This is what you expect to see from a Yoshi player, though. Yoshi has a very dedicated fan base of players that play it.
Yep.
It has always been like a middling character whenever anybody's like, here's my Smash tier list. Yoshi, it's in the B tier. That's usually where people will end up putting it, right? They're putting it in the middle of the pack with everything else. But the cool stuff that comes out about it is there is a dedicated fan base that are ready to come out with those Tims and make sure that you will feel their wrath.
And I love the out of shell neutral airs that we're seeing from this Yoshi here. Definitely, like you said, a guy that knows what he's doing on it. Lacks recovery in that regard. I wouldn't say lacks recovery, but just doesn't have specialized. The sword does come out. It's 2-2 apiece right now, but this Pyramithra is at a kill percentage. Yoshi's got to hit him with one little foot stomp, and there we go. That's the neutral. That's the kill. And right now, it's Yoshi putting in work.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Look at it. Look, that tail speaks for days. Put him in the egg. Poop him on out. You're going to go ahead and go down to the abyss.
I mean,
that's my favorite Yoshi move.
That was just absolutely surgical right now. That Yoshi, the shield pressure that they can put on is pretty crazy, and those out of shield neutral airs were just really, really kind of stumping the Pyra a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be real. Like, just that I don't think they were ready for the Yoshi to immediately grab him, put him in their mouth, and immediately just push him out the other end like that. Like, that's That's one of the things where Yoshi, where like that's the dream scenario as a Yoshi player, where you're able to find those moments. Same thing for like Kirby's and stuff like that. Any character where you can swallow somebody and just like throw them off of the arena against their will, and then you can just turn around and just make sure they can't get back to that ledge. Love it. And it was really good because they're taking advantage of the fact there's zero recovery that you can do out of that, right? If you get pushed in a wrong angle like that, it's done. The deal was done. And now there's a Yoshi fresh looking at us. They got 2 stocks at this current moment in time. So, you know, I feel like you got to kind of watch out and figure out, you know, all right, what is my game plan going into this next bit? Because I got a Yoshi who's definitely showing the experience. They're able to make those snap decisions and get stuff going off.
Yeah, and it's really hard to deal with the out of shield neutral, right? Because you kind of have to, if you're one of those players, you kind of have to bait it out from them, and then you can try to punish it. But if you're just trying to like shield pressure the Yoshi and trying to constantly, go in, as we are going to go into the game right now. This Yoshi's gonna make quick work of you, and that's a pretty good character to play into the Yoshi, the Min Min. We got to see a little bit of it last time, but finally maybe we'll get to see some of the strengths here as kind of plays, like you said, that mid-range zoner into like a kill confirm character. Not your typical, fighter, I would say.
It's not your typical Smash character, which I really enjoy, right? Like, there's not another character that I'm really like. There's a couple characters that can do like that mid-range kind of poke into kill confirm, right? But there's not a lot of them that are inside of Smash that I'm like, yes, they copy this style to a T. It's very unique. It's got this very unique playstyle that's very weird to have to play with. Has some pretty decent recovery as well, as we just got to see, where they could just stretch their arm on up there, grab it, and just be like, all right, I'm back. It's all good. Nothing to worry about here. But they do have a little bit of a curious scenario, too, where it's just like, you got to go against this Yoshi who actually has a decent amount of zone control themselves, right? We've seen it time and time again. Just throwing those eggs in the air. You actually have good amount of range. You can confirm that into something. You can kind of ruin the momentum of a character like this. So you can already see the damage that has been done, right? A lot of these, like, I'm going to poke out, I'm going to hit you at a mid-range, I'm going to try and do something. It's been getting interrupted by these egg tosses.
Yeah. I was going to ask, you're not really a fan of, like, Marth 1, Marth 2, Marth 3, Marth 4, and Marth 5? I thought you were.
Oh, you mean the characters where my B does something a little different between each character? Yeah, sure.
yeah. But like you said, Min Min finally just working that space, right? One of those characters that heavily relies on kind of perfectly spacing some of these characters out and hits them with the big ball, gets Yoshi out of that stock here, and it's 3-1. If Min Min can close this out, if he can just get a quick kill here potentially, or get something cheesy, we're even keel right now.
I love the pacing that's coming out here too, right? Because they realize what the situation calls for. They could possibly even things up, stop this snowball that's been giving their team a disadvantage at this moment in time. They did not have a fun time the last time we got to see them. And look at this. They're playing their game really cleanly. They're playing the neutral game a lot here, which I think is their best bet. You want to play this neutral. You want to continuously go for these different moments where you can get these big jabs in. Look at that. Every single time you're back onto the ground, Yoshi's at a bit of a disadvantage. It needs to be going for those egg tosses, right? They need to be going for something to disrupt the flow, or else you're in these situations where there's a character confirming, and now things have been evened on up for them. They're able to stop the snowball pretty effectively. Some great stuff to come out, and that's Min Min coming in clutch for their team now.
Yeah, really clean Min Min here. We got to see some of the more spacing and kind of that I would say hit and move, stick and move kind of play style that we like to see, right? And I like the idea that we're going on like more of these horizontal maps. If I'm this next character, let me maybe just throw it on to Final Destination, shorten it a little bit. Let me make it really uncomfortable for this Min Min to play. Could work in your favor a little bit more, but we saw what she was able to do when she got into that space, when she was able to kind of like, you know what? I'm going to hit you from here. I'm going to jump. I'm going to dash onto the other side. All right, I'm going to hit you from here. Oh, you're at kill percentage. Let me throw the big wrecking ball at it. You know you're dead. And actually, you can't even touch me because all of these hitboxes are lengthy, big hitboxes. And they don't, unfortunately, count her as hurt boxes as well. So Min Min can throw those gloves out kind of with impunity.
Yeah, it comes into the question of you either pick a character that's going to get in, lay in the hurt, cut the advantage off. Right, so say your arms, they stretch for days. Sure, we're stopping the stretching. We're ceasing that. We are putting an end to that. That is what you want to do in these cases and scenarios. You want to stop that from being able to be their advantage. So you either pick somebody who gets in, lays into her, or you pick in somebody who brings in a nice mid-range of their own, right? We got to see it earlier on in the previous matchup when they went against Palutena, where there was a nice little mid-range confirmed with that fireball that was able to stop things. You want to stop things from letting Min play their game, right? You disrupt their strategy, and all of a sudden, Min is in a much more terrible place when they're trying to make you adapt to them. All of a sudden, they are being forced to adapt to you. And that could be a key strategy going forward for this next fighter.
Yeah, I want to see how they're gonna kind of punish this mid-range stick and move character. I like playing rushdown right into these kind of characters.
Ooh.
Actually, no, we're gonna go even a bigger blade. We're just gonna go Xenoblade Sparkles here. I love this pick, especially if you can tap in to some of these speed. Yeah, like we got play the rushdown version. I love that.
This is my favorite version as well here. You're able to just zip around, see a little bit more of that as we go in. That's going to be great to see as it's just zooming around, getting in the face. They're looking to try and get a little bit more and agile here, get into the face. Look at how they are keeping the pressure on Chibi.
Yeah, I love those like long side up airs, right? Oh, he's gonna go for the jump here. Gets a little bit more distance right now. Maybe looking to juggle them if they can get like an errant up tilt as does lose that special here. But I love these long, big hitboxes from these blades, right? Especially these up airs, right? You could just kind of carry those across the stage.
That was a terrifying moment, actually. He switched over to Smash for a moment there right off of it, and I was like, you know what? That could be pretty terrifying to have to deal with, and you can see immediately a little bit of that fear coming out from the Min trying to keep their space, make sure they continue to play their game, keep going back into it. We're at an even game in terms of the stocks for the first time inside the series since the beginning of it. So it is something that they're looking to try and exploit a bit more here. Oh, that was
hits
nasty.
him with the roll-in, catches him out with the big gloves. Is now I love the stance, right? Oh my god, went from jump or speed to jump and then got the ledge kill. 0%, it's even a piece again.
I'm a little bit breathless after that. That was clean coming out here. Just like you said, the stance changes. We're seeing this a lot. Buster now the selection of choice for them. They have just been constantly switching around very fluently between their different stances, trying to lay in the hurt for him. This Min hasn't been enjoying the pressure, even though they got the first KO so far inside of the set. The pressure that's being put on has been heavily in the favor of this Schultz, but they've just been constantly laying in pressure after pressure. They grab that smash, and you can immediately see the Min's response is let me get into that mid area there. It's going to be able to recover. It's fine. It's dandy. Good throw to be able to come out. Gets that speed. This could go anybody's way.
Oh, the speed is so scary, right? As now he gets that forward smash in, and Min's at kill percent. Those back airs becomes absolutely lethal. Oh, how is he gonna interrupt it?
That was terrifying. That was spooky. Smash was there. Meter's going to run out before he's going to be able to find a play here. Going to go ahead and switch over the speed, try to get a little bit more momentum towards their way. But look at these fists playing a beautiful zoning game here. Playing that mid-range, just constantly poking around. Shield now is the stance of choice as they're looking to try and make their way in. They got a barrage, an onslaught that they have to try and get past. But look at this Min. The zoning does not count though. The zone was encroached upon, and that is another stock in their favor.
Yeah, and the thing is right now, Camden is just trying to take this Min down, right? Just absolutely trying to just get rid of this individual. It's Min against the world, right? And right now, can he confirm the kill? Okay, it's 1-1 apiece. Random Roman here just trying to maybe close it out. It's so rough. The Shulk is just absolutely carrying him across the stage.
Oh my goodness. The Shulk is actually just putting in so much work. They're trying to get a little bit more going in their way. But Miss Min yet again goes back to the default stance. They do not want to let Shulk continue to apply pressure, but Schultz says no. I will continue to apply as much pressure as I want. This sword is going to swing, baby, and it's going to be swinging for Min's neck. They're going for another bit of damage. Going to go ahead and keep that pressure applied on Min, trying to get that back to that mid space area, but that speed says otherwise. It's time to take him for a wild journey. Go for that jump, looking for the possible KO, and they do find it. Camden coming in clutch for the team.
Very, very nice here. And Min put in some work, right?
Yeah.
We got to see a little bit more of that kind of stick and move. I'm going to hit you, and then finally when we get to kill percent, I'm going to throw this big ball at you. But now the Shulk coming in, and the stance switching, like you mentioned, I think it's actually like art switch. I think the actual official term is arts, but it is stance switching in my opinion.
Yeah.
The ability to just tap into speed and carry the individual across the stage. We didn't really see a lot of that buster come out where you can build more of that percentage. It was a lot of more speed. It was a lot more jump, which honestly, in my opinion, are the two best stances, if I'm going to be really honest. And was able to put in some work with those specific two stances and just those long carrying up smashes from the Shulk. We saw just what he was able to do with that giant blade, right? Unconventional sword character. Probably, I think his sword is longer than Sephiroth's. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
Big, dude.
It's a pretty big sword, but I don't know. Sephiroth's sword's pretty big too.
I gotta look up the stats now.
I gotta look up sword stats. Look up sword stats.
Sword length. Okay, all right. Sephiroth's sword length. Masamune is about 90 inches.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you're right on this, by the way. In its compact form, it's no longer than 4.6 feet. But wait, let me see the actual, like, the size of the thing. As we do get into the game here. We're in the game.
We'll talk later. We'll get into the Shulk talk later. As you see Wolf coming in. A sword versus a gun. I think the sword typically doesn't win here.
I like how you say Wolf, and then you go straight to the gun. You don't think about the claws at all. Like, look, Wolf wants to tear apart, right? He wants to get in there. He wants to get right into the grip of it all. You can see he's actually going for a lot of throws in these instances. Here's the Buster trying to get a little bit of that percentage built up as you were talking about, but wasn't able to find anything, so immediately go out of that stance. And this Shulk has been really fun to be able to watch, I will say. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to watch exactly how they've been moving around on this map, because they've been doing a great job being fluid and switching around between these different stances or arts, as you would say, as they are going to continue laying in a good amount of hurt. But now it's Wolf's turn to play. It's their turn to get a little bit of damage done, but it is definitely something where they're feeling the pain here, as they are just both trading blows, but this Shulk is getting the better of them each time.
Yeah, I think this Wolf just really needs to take this stock out so they can try to, like, even it up a little bit, right? Get some fair playing field. As now Shulk gets some wit, the up special. That's a lot of kill power. And he's tapping into the smash here. We were talking about him using really only speed and jump. Taps into the smash, finally gets the kill confirm here. And now Wolf on the back foot. And now he's tapped into the speed, and he's zooming across right now.
Yeah, this is what I love. We saw that this Shulk was trying to do a little bit of it, but the previous play, that Min was actually very defensive in how they played around it. So they never got a chance to really find that. But they're in that Buster now. They're looking to lay in, get that percentage going. Not going to be able to get too much out of it, but they want to get a little bit more. They want to lay in that hurt a little bit more. If they can take an extra stock here, that is a dub in their books here. They got that speed. They're going to be able to pop in here, hop, jump, skip, and lay in that hurt with those swords, swinging it all across this map. And this Wolf is having a hard time. They're laying in some good offense, but they have not been able to find it. That was a clutch use of the shield.
Oh, the shield is probably the most underused, but when it is used, it's at the best times, right? Because obviously the detriments that it has makes you slower and everything like that, but it just makes you heavier than a 2-ton tunic from Challenge Showdown. As right now, Shulk 141%.
I was not expecting a Challenge Showdown reference, but I'm glad we're here for it. I'm glad we are here for it. As you can see, right now, sword being buried down. This is Shulk came in this one stop. They are still on that one stop, but they are at 150%. They got that rage meter going, trying to get an aerial combo going for this Wolf. But look at the counter play coming in. Smash has been unlocked, but it's going to immediately switch it over to speed, lay in a good amount of damage as they continue to zip around. Wolf is having a hard time keeping up with the speed. It's so big.
That's what she said, and unfortunately, you know, it's working in his favor.
Hey, he did it!
Kill here. He gets it with the one stock, takes down all of Wolf's stocks. And oh, by the way, just to confirm whether Sephiroth's sword is longer, so it's 7.4 feet for Sephiroth officially. Shulk's is technically infinite.
All right, that's stupid. That doesn't count.
It's because when the Monado is in its base combat form, its size grows considerably to around 7.6 feet. And to top it off, the main blade is made of light, and it expands depending on the power being used. It has gone to the lengths of a whole island. Shulk is just OP, guys. That's what we've ended up with. Shulk is OP. Size of the sword doesn't matter, though, as Shulk is able to close it on out against the wolf.
I'm glad that they didn't decide to, give him a island-sized sword inside of the game. By the way, good on Smash for balancing that. But no, I mean this is one of the best Shulks I've seen in quite a bit of time. Really doing some good stuff in terms of switching around between these different stances, these different arts, making sure that they're constantly on the fly with that, making sure to take advantage. They were constantly aggression. The way they use speed is actually so good, and I love the fact it's a harder character to play in a fighting game because when everybody else has like a set amount of moves that they have to keep track of, right? Then you also have your different stances that change and augment you, and you have to constantly, on the fly, on the back foot sometimes, choose the right stance for the right situation.
Yeah, and it's quick thinking, right? As we see the Incineroar coming back out, we unfortunately didn't really get to see too many combos from this Incineroar when we last saw, but he's going to have potentially, hopefully, a little bit of a better matchup, right? As the Shulk can play the keep away game, but still has to get into land some of it, as now we get the match started, and I want to see some lariats. I want to see some luchador action right now.
I'm going to be real. I do love the fact that the tag that they chose is the Civic Golem 3. Very appropriate if you're an Incineroar player.
Yeah, I mean, I like to call those ancient emojis. That's what we were using back in the day, Travis. Ancient emojis? Yeah, because they didn't have emojis, right? It would be like, the greater than or less than sign into the semicolon, into the parentheses. That was the ancient emojis.
These are our old hieroglyphics. Yeah, I get you.
As Incineroar, I like the fact that the Shulk is tapping into the shield a little bit more just to kind of mitigate some of that power as we see the dive bomb coming in. Incineroar is actually getting to play the game now.
Yeah, no, Incineroar is actually pretty scary if they're able to start hitting you. We didn't get to see a showcase of it because they kind of got ran through on the last time we got to see him, but this time around, they're going into a matchup that's more so akin in their favor, and they're able to find these different moments. Look at this lariat. They empower themselves, coat themselves up in flames. Good amount of damage to come about, and they're going to be able to get the smash. There we go. That is game 3 stocks for the Incineroar. That is huge for Cornell College.
Yeah, now we're down to one match, the final match between these two teams. 3 stocks apiece. What will this Incineroar have to face? That's what I am fearful of, right? What is this guy going to have to go against? Because if it is one of those zone-heavy style characters, something like a villager, right? Something like potentially a duck hunt dog, if we ever see that. It could be really rough for this guy. Are they going to go mono-y-mono? Are we going to see these close-range big brawlers go and just bash each other in the mouth, phone stall style, right? Like you just go in and I'm going to punch you as fast as I can, as hard as you can. I want to see it, but I'm very interested to see what Ashland University can pull out.
All I thought of when you said that was, I was like, man, what did it look like for an Incineroar mirror matchup? Or I was just like, they're both trying to lariat each other. It's just like the things that you see in wrestling where they're both go for the lariat at the same time. They both end up flat on their back. I would be down to see interaction like that, but I would love to see, like you said, I think a power matchup would be fun to watch between these two, because the Incineroar, in the last time that they went against somebody who was more that, I would kind of consider like a more of a specialist class where they can kind of do a little bit of everything of character inside of Smash. You're going against somebody else who's heavy hitting. When we saw them go against that Shulk, that was a much better display from them, and it showed a lot more of their comfort going into a matchup such as Shulk, which is a character that has to get up into your face, has different tools to get up into your face, but they are very much so, I want to get up into your business, I want to hit you, I want to switch my stance, I want to smash.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and I think, we'll see what he ends up actually going against. I think if he can go up against like some of these other sword characters, it might be a little bit more difficult, right? I think individuals that can control that vertical space, can punish you while you're in the air, because unfortunately Incineroar doesn't really have that many good tools when he's in the air. Oh Lord! And if we wanted, I said sword character, you said zoner. Travis, we got both.
Yeah. This is Fun fact, when I first started playing Smash Ultimate, this was actually my main character to play, too. I love me some Robin. I love me some Robin. And we are seeing it right here. They're going to be able to lay in a good amount of hurt, get that zoning going like you were talking about. These spells are actually pretty devastating if you don't watch out. So keep our eyes onto it. But these lariats are coming in big. This Robin is actually getting hit up quite often. But they have decent recovery, decent tools at their disposal as well. They are trying to go mono and mono for this Incineroar, and it's going to be a hard journey.
Yeah, and Robin's not too fast, right? So if she kind of messes up her spacing a little bit, if she's not conscious of how much, ground this Incineroar can cover in such a quick amount of time, you can see her just get caught, like you said, with the lariats, with these kind of errant smashes. Now we see the Nosferatu coming in just to, heal him up a little bit, but it doesn't matter. You're in kill range. Incineroar wants to just hit you with an errant back. It can throw you off the map as well. As we see different sword being used right now, and I like to see some of these Robins get a little creative when their items are running out, how they use the book, how they use the sword, because it can be such a potent comboing and juggling tool.
Yes, absolutely. You gotta take use of your entire kit here.
It's a dive bomb!
Okay, well, no, when you get hit with that though, I'm gonna tell you right now, in Fire Emblem, you're not used to giant cats pouncing upon you like that, and this Incineroar is laying in the hurt, is definitely making sure this Robin is getting punished in their own special way. This Robin gotta find a bit of momentum on their side. They're gonna be able to get a nice little zap here, but they need more. They need more to continue the pressure, and there you go. Even stock is stock now.
Yeah, 39% on the Robin, as we do see that lightning book is almost used up, electricity book, I'll call it. I like to see them more tap into that third charge lightning, where it's kind of the more expansive one, where it stays in the map a little bit, stays onto the stage. But I get that you don't really have a lot of time to charge it, so you kind of just have to throw it out when you feel this Incineroar putting the pressure on you. The sword does get taken out, and Incineroar is into the more advanced state after the counter here. This could be really rough. Robin's at 100%. One lariat, and it could be the end of this stock.
Yeah, one lariat is all she wrote. That's all you need to be able to get in here. You can see they're trying to figure out something. The pressure is there, but
the stab!
It's just one punch. That's all you need. Is able to finish things off. And now Robin's at their last stock. Still 2 for this Incineroar. This Incineroar is doing a great job neutralizing a lot of the advantages Robin has, making sure they're staying right up in their face. They're not able to get anything fully charged off. They're not able to find any zoning to get anything out here. As I say that,
finally
let's take a couple hits.
Yeah, wait a minute. This guy was cooking a little bit, was going through the recipe books, grandpa's, mom and dad's, everything, just to get this Incineroar stock off. But now, resetting back to neutral, 49% for the Robin. She's got to cook up some insane combos right now just to try to make this passable, make this game a little bit more easier for themselves. One stock apiece, final one for each of these guys. Both of them feeling the pressure.
Yeah, no, they're both under pressure at this current moment in time. You can see Cat is on the run, trying to see if they can jump on, heal up, and get onto this Robin. This Robin's done a great job in this last stock, right? There's someone that's awakened inside this Robin. They're friends, they're teammates, they're right behind them, they're cheering them on. Both sides is do or die one more time. Whoever wins this game here wins it for their group. The lariat! Woo! Right off the ropes. How's your neck feeling?
90%, and we told him it's one lariat is all you need, especially into the Robin. The Incineroar, we saw a middling performance last time we saw it, but this time around was allowed to play the game, was allowed to put the work in, and despite facing off against a really good zoner, was just able to abuse some of the timings early on, right? Robin got caught with the dive bomb when she was throwing down the flame spell, and the animation, when you're locked into that for so long, gets killed, right? We saw the Robin finally adapting, say, you know what? I can't get locked into these animations so long. Let me throw out some more spells. Let me throw it out. Let me throw it out when I'm a little bit more safer. But unfortunately, just gets caught with that single errant lariat and gets taken down immediately. Well played to this Incineroar. Really great stuff. One of the crew battles that went down to the wire, really, with a lot of nice character variety.
Yeah, it was really just a good show, honestly, from both teams here, right? Like, both these clubs coming in here really laid in some good work. A lot of unique picks, as we were talking about, unique play styles being shown. Characters we don't get to see every day. I didn't expect that this series would end with a Robin versus Incineroar, to be honest. for example. Like, that was just really good stuff here. And you know what? Glad to see the Incineroar get to pop off the way they did. Glad to see a Robin. Makes my heart feel fond. But hey, yo, I believe we should still actually have one more series to end off for the day here. See what we are going to inside of here. Yeah, but we're going to go ahead and just take it over to a short little break. So when we come back, we're going to be going into another series here between two teams looking to clash against each other and get everything taken care of. So we're going to make sure we take a short break and be right back.